All right, Shalom. First things first, we want to give all praise to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai. We give double honors to the apostles and elders, which are the apostles and elders, a great millstone that rule well, that diligently do the work, and that have been doing the work. All right, and you brothers on the four corners of the planet Earth, the hopeful elect, the men that, Lord willing, we be a part of that number, and we get up out this thing, man, because we're coming to the time of the end. This is just a quick lesson. And as you can see here, this saying, it says, "Pride cometh before the fall. Stay humble." Okay, we're coming to the times of calamities, Jacob's trouble, the things that are getting ready to happen on the planet Earth are going to be unseen, man. We haven't seen since the beginning of the Earth. Okay, that's getting ready to come to pass. But the main thing I wanted to come on this is just we've been given something that's so precious. It's so, I mean, every day more and more I go into this truth and just see the truth, see the brethren, see the apostles, see the elders, and see the things that are coming out. You just have to humble yourself, man. That's why it says humble yourself before the Lord. Okay, and I think I'm gonna start out with that real quick. I'm gonna pull it up on my phone, because the things that, I mean, we're seeing prophecies come to pass that have written thousands of years ago, and for us to understand it, that's why it says none of the wicked shall understand. But for us having the understanding of this truth right now is precious. And this is the book of James. This is James 4:10, and it says, "Humble yourselves in the sight of the Lord, and He shall lift you up." So we're being put in a position to be hopefully the ambassadors of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, to come out here and to push His words and to give the truth and to go out to the highways and the byways and to Lord willing to flip His money, and so He can have interest when He comes back, so He may have collect more than what He put out there. At the end of the day, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai is going to be the one to wake you up. Okay. So I'm gonna get into this. I'm just gonna get into some scripts, and the main thing is right here. Let's jump into the blue letter. And the first script I'm gonna get is James. And we're gonna look up some of these words, because these other guys out here, they're being prideful. They don't see what they, before this truth, they were just some niggas on who knows what they were doing. But then now they're the so-called enlightened ones and doing this and that. They don't want to praise the Lord because they're prideful. They've letting pride take them over, instead of being humble and saying, "Dawadi Habashim al-Shah for waking us up, and He could have left us out here to be who knows what." So the first script is James 4:6. Let me go up just a little bit. James 4:5, and it says, "Do ye think that the scriptures saith in vain, the spirit that dwelleth in us," it says, "the spirit that dwelleth in us lusteth to envy." So let's look up that word real quick. I'm not going to try to make this long, Lord willing, but we'll see how it goes. And the word there is patanos, and it says envy, for envy, prompt to envy. Because this spirit, this flesh that we're in is wicked, man. That's why it says our righteousness is as filthy rags. There's nothing that we've done to receive the honor of knowing this truth. Let me go to James 4:6, and it says, "But He giveth more grace, wherefore He saith, Yahweh resisteth the proud, but give grace unto the humble." We're going to look up some of these words. He says He giveth grace. Let's look up that word grace. Is charis, and it says grace, that which affords joy, pleasure, delight, sweetness. And it say that this word shall be sweet in thy mouth as honey. It says that which affords joy, pleasure, delight, sweetness, charm, lovingness, grace of speech, goodwill, loving kindness, favor. And that's exactly what we're being shown. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua is allowing us to show loving to our brothers, and that's why we have a brotherhood. We have a camp. because he's allowing us to, because a part of the curses it said you shall hate thy brother. So the Lord is taking that off of us slightly to allow us to grow together. Slakia. Now all of a sudden things want to come in. Let me put that on vibrate. And it says, what is due to grace, spiritual condition of one governed by the power of divine grace, the token of proof of grace, benefit, a gift of grace, because this is a gift, just like faith is a gift. Let me read it again. But he giveth more grace, wherefore he saith, he resisteth the proud. Let's look up that. The word there is hyperenianos. And it says, show oneself above another, overtopping. That's why it says, let others speak of you. You don't speak of yourself, you let others bring you up. That's why it says when a man goeth, I'm speaking it, I'm paraphrasing. It says when you go to a feast, you don't take the head seat. You let somebody bring you up. You don't come up there and try to sit up there. You let somebody else bring you up. That's the same thing. You don't speak of yourself, because at the end of it, we ain't shit. We ain't nothing. That's why it says after the end of this, we've just done what we were supposed to. It says one show oneself above another, overtopping, conspicuous above others, preemptive, with an overwhelming esteem of one's means or merit, despising others or even treating them with contempt. And that's what you have a lot of these dudes out there doing, man. Because what do they say? They say GMS is a bunch of bums. We're this, we're that. At the end of the day, you should be happy that we're pushing this truth and waking up the hopeful elect and doing the work. Because a lot of these other camps, they ain't doing the work the right way. They ain't pushing the truth. You see the elders, they're constantly pushing videos out, man. Who you think is feeding them? They ain't feeding themselves. It says, if this thing be of men, it shall come to naught. You think these men have been so-called doing the playing games for 30 odd some years, 20 years? Come on, man. Come on, man. What do you think? Something is feeding these men and keeping them driven and keeping them diligent. It says, resisteth the proud, but giveth grace unto the humble. Let's look up this word here. And it's tapenios. It says, not rising far from the ground. That's why you got to stay low, stay level. Matop, as a condition, lowly, of low degree, brought low with grief. Didn't it say Yahushua was a man acquainted with grief? Acquainted with sorrows? Depressed, lowly in spirit, humble, a bad sense, deporting oneself objectively, deferring severely in others. All right. So I'm just gonna go through these verses and give you just an example, just staying humble, man. All right, this is the book of Job 22 and 29. It says, when men cast down, then thou shalt say, there is lifting up, and he shall save the humble person. He shall deliver the islands of the innocent, and it is delivered by the pureness of thine hands. But the main point is in 29. It says, when men are cast down, then thou shalt say, there is lifting up, and he shall save the humble person. And that's what we're being. That's why we got to keep humble. Because at the end of it, we can't do nothing against Esau. We can't do nothing against the world that's set up right now. That's why it says, thy worm Jacob. We're just a worm. We're just insignificant to this society. But Yahweh Shem Yahushua is our strength. That's why it says, I am the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's why we got to keep we got to lean on him, not our own understanding. Because he's the one that's really raising us up and giving us the spirit to do this great work. And this is the book of, let me jump right here. This is Psalms. This is the book of Psalms 138 and verse 6. This is Psalms 138 and verse 6. It says, though the Lord be high, yet has he respect unto the lonely. That's beautiful. Read it again. Psalms 138 and 6. Though the Lord be high, yet he has respect. Let's look up that word. Ra'ah. Ra'ah. It says to see, look at, inspect, perceive, consider. He considereth the lonely. That's why the water for allowing us to go into these words, man. All praise Yahweh Shem Yahushua. To see, have visions, to look at, see, regard, look after, see after, learn about, observe, watch, look upon, look out, find out. To see, observe, consider, look at, give attention to, discern, distinguish, to look at, gaze at. That's why it says he calls Israel the apple of his eye. Okay, so the Most High is looking at us, man. The lonely. That's why we got to constantly stay lonely. The Lord is high, man. He's the power, man. The Creator. We can't do. You can't fathom His power that He has. All the spirits on the planet Earth come from the main source, which is Yahweh. We can't fathom His power and fathom his anything. It says it's a drop unto an ocean. How magnificent He is, man. It says, though the Lord be high, yet He has respect unto the lonely, but the proud He knoweth afar off. So He set them afar off, man. That's why He's giving the Rothschilds the half of the world's wealth. They're far off from the Lord. That's why He gives these rich guys all the money, all the things that they want in life, because He's pushing them away. You don't want to deal with them. He's giving them the lust of their heart. But then He's looking at Israel and he's putting us in straits because He loves us, man. It says, though I walk in the midst of trouble. This is verse 7, Psalms 138 and 7. It says, though I walk in the midst of trouble, thou wilt receive me. Thou shalt stretch forth thy hand against the wrath of mine enemies, and thy right hand shall save me. All right. Let me get these couple verses and I'm going to end on out. This is the book of Proverbs 3 and verse 34. This is Proverbs 3 and 34. It says, surely He scorneth the scorners, but He giveth grace unto the lowly. The wise shall inherit glory, but shame shall be the promotion of fools. This is the book of Proverbs 29 and verse 23. And it says, a man's pride shall bring him low, but honor shall upholdeth the humble in spirit. Whoso is partner with that's it on that. The main verses in 23. It says, a man's pride shall bring him low, but honor shall uphold the humble in spirit. Because He's getting ready to uplift us to a place we've never even imagined. We can't fathom it, man. We're about to inherit things that brothers can't even speak of. Okay. And then this is the book of James. This is James 4 and verse 10. And it says, humble yourselves in the sight of the Lord, and He shall lift you up. And that's the main thing, and I'm in on that, man. Humble yourselves, man. Okay? Just come to this truth and do the work. Because there ain't nothing, all we're doing is just doing our work that we should be doing. Because He says, I'll make you a kingdom of priests and kings. All right, so we're just staying in our lot, which we threw off a long time ago. So with that, I'm going to give all praise to Yahweh Shem Yahushua, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushua. You brothers keep faith, man. We're almost home. Shalom.